UFC 6 has hit us with the first update of the year, and the Whitehouse venue is finally here as Freedom 250 is kicking off pretty soon. But we got a couple of things to talk about, because not only did we get the Whitehouse venue, we also got a free Alex Pereira skin, one of those things where we just get a different attire, as a lot of us would call it in the WWE 2K community, and that's pretty cool as well. All you have to do is go in the shop and you'll be able to go on ahead and unlock it, redeem it. It should be there for either 0 virtual currency or 0 points, 0 credits, whatever the case may be. You guys can go on ahead and get that, as you guys see on the screen. Now, we got to go on ahead and get into this Whitehouse venue, because I am interested in seeing, did we get any entrances, which I highly doubt. I don't think we're going to get any entrances. I think the fight is just going to start, and that's just going to be what it is. For the most part, I have been enjoying this game thus far, and it's been pretty fun. It's been pretty cool, but obviously there's always its negatives and positives, and we'll have to get into all that in a different video. But thus far, I do think that it is a pretty solid product. We'll have to see what happens, but let's go on ahead and get into it, y'all, because I'm excited to see what this looks like. This is my first time seeing it, aside from the trailers and teasers that the EA Sports UFC page has put out. Let's get it. Ladies and gentlemen, first things first, here we see that Alex Pereira, you can go on ahead and choose the Freedom 250 blue, Freedom 250 white, Freedom 250 red. So we're going to go on ahead and put the blue ones on Cyril Game. We're going to go with, just a fight that is going to happen at Freedom 250. I do have Pereira in that fight because I definitely think that he wins. He wins. People want to talk about all this stuff that it's a little bit, complicated because Pereira is on the slow side of things, because he's a little bit bigger. But I don't know, man. I think Pereira goes on ahead and wins this fight. But as we see here, there is no actual walkouts or anything like that for these fighters. It's straight to it. And you guys saw that we saw the Whitehouse as we were going there, and you see here as we turn around and we look around, the atmosphere, you really get lost in it a little bit. But one thing that I do want to do is I want to see if there is a way, right, that we can maybe change this camera angle. Maybe it's too late, maybe it's not, because that was pretty cool seeing that camera angle and everything wide. Okay, medium, tight, classic. So you're really only able to see it at the very beginning. You know what I mean? I mean, it is pretty cool, but the walkouts coming out would have been nice too. I'll be honest. Like, I think it would have been nice to see, in my opinion. But, completely understand that, that's going to be difficult, right? Because I think a lot of the fighters are going to have, like, what we call aura, right, as we're coming down. Especially Pereira, if he does that bow and arrow from the top, that'll be cool too. I know there's a lot of, negative things going around this card because of the fact that it's at the Whitehouse and people feel a certain way about the respect factor and all that. And we're not in here to get into all that, but I think that, the card should be pretty good if they can get it going, because that weather is crazy. But for the most part, pretty cool atmosphere, especially when it starts. But the only thing with that is, right, is there is really no way to see more of this. Like, I thought that it would have been more so in the scenery of things, but I guess not, and that makes sense because of the camera angle. But it would have been super nice to see it. I mean, wide. I mean, I did have it on wide. Maybe medium we'll be able to see it. But okay. Turn around a little bit. Okay, there you go. You're able to see the Whitehouse there. Okay, that looks pretty cool, y'all. That looks pretty cool. I can't even lie. Yeah, that looks dope. That looks super dope. I really like that. I think that that's crazy, the fact that the Whitehouse is in this game. And honestly, we'll have to see what happens with the next patch, because I do want to talk a little bit about the game. It does feel like, stamina. Ooh, stamina is, one of those things in this game that it just feels like a little bit OP, bro. It feels like you don't got to balance nothing. It just feels like you can go out there, send as many punches as you want. There are people online, because even though I'm not as good at the game and I'm trying to, get better, it does feel like, online, it's just, you can throw 130 punches in a round and there still feels like you got a lot of stamina left over. So to me, that's a problem in its own, in my opinion. Like, I think that needs to improve in the game, because I do feel that, for the most part, striking in this game is really solid. It's really good. The ground game is still, the ground game is not all that good, honestly. It just really is not. And it's honestly because it's so similar to past years. And then the submissions as well. That's a problem on its own, that I feel is a problem as well. Because yes, you can deny transitions, but there's no like mini game to fight yourself out of it. So that's something else. But maybe that's just me, right? I play UFC every year. I buy the games every year. But honestly, it's one of those things where the submission game I don't really like too much. Neither do the ground game, and I do feel that is a pretty popular opinion, at least with the ground game. But the striking feels so good. It feels so good. And, if they continue doing these updates and these fighter updates, we'll have to see, because overall, the roster as well, that's something that has not done as well as past years. Like, we're missing Bruce Lee, Kimbo Slice. Like, we're missing a lot of legends. And I'm just naming, like, guys that were cool to have in the game, obviously. And in a game where it was dictated, where fighters, peaked in their prime and the ratings and how it is, you would think like, okay, if we have that, all these legends that were in the game before, that would be amazing, right? And that makes you think maybe that was the reason why they took that approach with the ratings, because they probably felt that, since they don't have as many legends, they still want diversity within the fights. And honestly, it does feel like there is more diversity than usual because of the fighter uniqueness. But Conor McGregor is OP in this game, bro. I mean, bro, he has an insane chin, bro. An insane chin. I mean, it's just crazy. Anybody, if you go on that division with Conor, I believe it's the welterweight division, if I'm not mistaken, which honestly I feel he should have been at another division, if I'm not mistaken. But if you go into that division, you'll also notice that with Conor McGregor, he's the only fighter people pick when you go in that division. It's to a point where I stopped toggling it. If you face a good Conor McGregor user, honestly, y'all, you're in trouble. But just one of my favorite fighters that I've been using this year so far in the middleweight is Izzy, bro. I love the knockouts with Izzy. It's really fun. He's been one of my favorite fighters this year so far. And he was honestly one of my favorite fighters when, he's fighting still, but he ain't the same no more, bro. That's unfortunate, I'm not gonna lie, bro. That Alex Pereira flow state is no joke, man. Anytime, and that's one thing too, bro. In this game, like when people go online and they go and do their thing and they're playing and they turn on that flow state, they think they're unbeatable. And honestly, y'all, the fight was going on too long. You feel what I'm saying? It was just going on a little bit too long. But overall, I did like the Whitehouse venue. Now, you guys did see what I had to go on ahead and do with the actual camera settings to make sure that things came out looking the right way. Maybe medium will be able to see it. And again, it was pretty cool. I do think that this is a nice addition. And, hopefully they continue adding more fighter packs and things like that, as they do like to do the fighter updates every month. So that'll be cool too. But overall, nice little addition, and it is free. After all, once you guys get the UFC 6, if you guys don't have the Ultimate Edition yet, you guys will be able to go on ahead and play in the Whitehouse as well when it drops. So make sure you guys change to that angle if you actually want to see the scenery behind you and have that backdrop. And that'll be it for me today, y'all. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe if you guys did enjoy this video. I'm going to catch y'all. Peace.